Hola, it's Jenny, aka Coop Dizzle. You know how many your teeth? Oh no, okay. Wanted to make a quick video because I have not been updating as much as I really need to be. It's been so crazy, such a crazy summer and busy, and you know, we had the trip to Disney World, which was amazing. It was hot and humid and wonderful. Devin, you know, he came out of his shell. He started believing in magic again. Caden became a little fish, and of course he just lit up. He met Mickey Mouse a couple times, and on the third time meeting Mickey Mouse, he actually gave him a hug. It was wonderful. There were a few times where Chris teared up because he was so happy seeing the kids just be kids. And I had a great experience with dolphins. So they said they would have let me in to swim with the dolphins, but one of them was sick, so I couldn't go in there. So that was a really great trip. And then a few weeks after that, I went to San Antonio for a Texas Band Masters Association. If I burp, I'm sorry, I just had a salad. Caden's birthday was not too long ago. He turned 4. That was really great. We're going to have a birthday party for him this weekend. And I'm really excited just to like see my kids play and visit with friends I haven't seen in a while. And this Thursday I'm doing a project with our local hospital. Shannon's doing a pink ribbon art display in October. I think they said October 15th. I'll have to double check on that for anyone who's interested in coming. Basically, we're writing a poem and we're painting a picture. So I wrote my poem a few days ago, and I don't know, it's really angry. I try to be a really positive and uplifting person, but I laid down to go to sleep the other night and I just had these words going through my head, and I got up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't shake these words out of my head, so I got up and got a piece of paper and wrote them down. So I hope that when I take it to these people, they're not like, you need to be a little bit more positive. Everyone wants breast cancer to be happy and positive and uplifting, and that's fine if you're not stage 4, you know? So anyway, and then my birthday is on Monday. I'll be 33, and no chemo. Mondays are chemo days, and this happens to be that week where I don't have to do chemo. I did chemo last Monday, I did chemo yesterday, and I don't have to do chemo on my birthday. I just have to go down the street and do blood work. I am all sorts of stuff on this video. I've sneezed, I've coughed, I've burped. I apologize for my rudeness. So anyway, a lot of really good things are happening. School's fits in a start, and Caden is going to be in pre-K, and I hope he does really well. Devin just blossomed when he started school, so I'm hoping the same thing for Caden. Okay, so I did a whole bunch of scans a few months ago when I got re-diagnosed. I did an MRI, I did a CT scan. I did a whole bunch of scans. Now, the last time I got a brain scan, like a brain MRI, was back in January when I was having a ton of headaches. And it turns out the headaches were tension headaches from that. I have a knot in my back from radiation when they treated my clavicle and went straight through to my back, and I had this giant square on my back, and apparently it just fried me from the inside. So if Chris doesn't rub it so often, I tend to get migraines. I have been getting quite a few headaches, but nothing really too bad. So I had an episode a few weeks ago. Chris was rubbing my back, and I got this pain in my back about midway right here. That's where my diaphragm is, going through to my back, and it started right here, and then it worked all its way around my body, and literally, it felt like someone had lassoed me and was trying to pull me from the back, just trying to rip me in half. It lasted for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I couldn't cry. I was having a hard time breathing. I was very, I don't know if I would say it was labored. I just knew that it was my diaphragm spazzing out. So anyway, it lasted about 10 or 15 minutes, and I was really freaked out because I thought I was laying in the floor just trying to get comfortable and trying to get to the place where I can breathe. I was holding my breath thinking, okay, if I hold my breath, then maybe my diaphragm will stop spazzing out on me. And I thought, this is it. My diaphragm is going to paralyze right now, and I'm going to die. I was so terrified. And then afterwards, I was really shaken up. I started crying. I was shaking, and I was like, oh, I gotta take a shower. Because if this is gonna happen again, and that's gonna be my last time, then I don't want the paramedics coming and me stinking. So I took a shower, and I had Chris come in and wash off the coconut oil from my back. Because like I said, he was rubbing my back. And I told him, and some of you may disagree with this, and frankly, I just don't care. If it happens again, and I stop breathing, to just let me go. Just hold me and love me and tell me that it's okay and let me go. Because I certainly don't want that happening in front of my boys. And that more than likely is how I will go. So my diaphragm will paralyze. It will just stop working. And without my diaphragm, I can't breathe. So I called Dr. Cherokee the next day and I told him what happened. And he said that it sounded like I had a blood clot in my lungs. And that he wanted me to come in and get some scans done. And I was already scheduled to go in and have brain MRI because of this bump on my head, which has gotten better, but you can still see it and feel it. He really just wanted to make sure of what was going on there. So we went and got the scans done, and I went in, when I went in yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before, last Monday, not this Monday, last Monday, I went in and Dr. Cherokee said that that he no longer can see the lymph nodes in my chest. So that's great. The lymph nodes in my chest they're back to normal size or have disappeared, especially that one lymph node that was cut into and dissected. And the lesions on my diaphragm have gotten smaller, so that's great. The only two things that really, that concern me, and he said that I have degenerative bone in my spine. And I asked him, I was like, well, could that be why, could that be because of chemo last year? And he said no. He's like, have you always had kind of an achy back? And I was like, well, yeah, but I had huge tits, and he was like, no. He goes, this is something that's been going on for a while, and he's absolutely right, because I've been, ever since I've had my own washer and dryer, I've sat down on the floor and folded clothes right out of the dryer. And by the end of that, my back is hurting so bad that I'm in tears. So in the last year, since I got cancer, I've been folding them on the bed. So that makes sense. Like, that's why my back has been hurting for years. So that's just something that's been going on with me for a while, and I didn't even know it. And last year when I was having the migraines, we did a brain MRI and everything came out fine. He said that there was a teeny spot in my brain that he's not going to classify it as metastasis because it's so small. It didn't show up in the PET scans or the CT scans that I had done because it's so small. But when we did the brain MRI, it showed up, and it's like in the middle of my brain. So now I go and get scans done of my chest every 3 months. So now on top of the chest scans that I have to do, now I have to do a brain MRI. I have to sit in a tunnel. Like the CT scans of my chest, I just go in, they scan, I'm out in 15 minutes. But with the brain MRI, I have to sit in a tube for 45 minutes to an hour. And it's nerve-wracking. So we don't know if this has been there since the beginning, but we're going to keep an eye on it. The idea that there might be something in my brain is terrifying. Not really any more or less terrifying than it being anywhere else in my body, but it's like, here's one more place that it's in. And at that point, I don't even know what I would do, because with brain cancer, they do radiation. But I can't do radiation and chemo at the same time. So if we're treating the brain mets, then other cancer in my body grows. So I don't know. I think if it's in my brain, I might just stop treatment and live the remainder of my life that I have. It's a very hard call because I have 2 children and they need a mother. So I don't know what the right thing to do is in this situation. I feel like if this is a brain met, and I'm trying not to freak out because it could just be nothing, but the fact that it wasn't there in January and it's there now is really scary. And I certainly don't want to be a quitter. I want to fight for my life, and I want to fight for my family and my friends, but I can't treat one thing and not treat the other. And so anyway, I'm gonna keep you all posted, and in another 3 months I'll let you know if it's gotten bigger. Of course, he said if I start getting really bad headaches, or I start acting differently, or I start sleeping a lot more, to let him know, and he'll do another brain MRI. That is just something that now we're aware of it, and now we have to keep an eye out for it. So I hate cancer so bad. And in the last month, we've lost almost 10 women from my support group. The most heartbreaking one for me was Sarah, because I found Sarah before I found out I was stage 4, and you know, I would ask her questions, and then when I found out that I was stage 4, every time I wrote her a private message and asked her a question like, were you stage 4 in the beginning, or were you stage 4 later on down the road? Like, how long have you been fighting? And she would answer everything so honestly. And when I told her that I was stage 4, she was like, do everything you can to stay with your family. And she had a brain, I don't think it was in her brain, but she had, like, this spot that's on my head, it was on her forehead, and it had gotten really bad. And so they were doing radiation and hypothermia therapy on this, but while they were treating this, she grew 10 lesions on her spine. And that's what I'm saying, like, if there's something in my brain and they want to do radiation, then that's leaving everything else in my body to grow. When you lose someone to the same type of cancer, it messes with your mind. You think, I'm just chasing a ghost. I'm chasing this ghost of a cure. And I want to believe, Chris tells me, as long as there's treatment, there's a possibility for a cure. What if the day before you want to give up, they find a cure? And I'm like, well, what if a week after I die, they find a cure? He's my glass half full person, and I'm the glass half empty person, and he lets me see things in such a different light. He's truly an amazing man. So anyway, that's what's going on medically, and I try not to think about it. I try to just keep going and keep doing, and hug my kids every day and hug my husband every day, and just tell Chris what an amazing husband he is, because he takes me to every appointment and he hugs me. When I was having that episode, I was in the floor on my stomach, and he was laying in the floor with me, holding me, telling me to stay with him. So it's really scary for both of us. And Dr. Cherokee said that with these lesions on my diaphragm, that if we can't get them under control and they grow more, that these kind of that episode that I've had will continue to happen until the moment comes when it just stops. So I was right in my first theory. I was like, I don't have a blood clot, dude. That was my diaphragm freaking out, you know? Cancer sucks. Please check your boobs. Check your balls. And when life gets really overwhelming, grab a bottle of water, hug your kids and hug your husband or your wife or your partner, and just think, this too shall pass. Bye guys, I hope I didn't bum you out too much. It's been crazy summer. I love you guys. Bye.